Hey guys, welcome to the Jawas and Java podcast. My name is Mike. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the casting of Ezra in the Ahsoka series. The rumors are flying that Mena Massoud is going to be playing Ezra. If you haven't already, please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do giveaways and we also cover everything Star Wars. All right, let's get into the episode. Hey guys, welcome to episode 12 of the Jawas and Java podcast. My name is Michael. This is my brother Stefan. Today we're going to be talking about the casting of Ezra. There's been rumors going around from credible sources saying that Mena Massoud is going to be playing Ezra in the Ahsoka series. There's been many speculations on who was going to play Ezra, and over the past few days, we've been hearing a lot of talk that Mena Massoud, who played live-action Aladdin, was going to be taking the role of Ezra in Star Wars going forward and starting in the Ahsoka series. I haven't seen the Aladdin movie, so I'm going to pass it over to Steph and see what he thinks about this casting, and then I'll talk a little bit about from what I saw from photos and clips on what I think about it. So, Steph, what do you think?
I think Mina as Ezra is perfect. I'm a huge fan of the casting. I think that it's spot on. I think it looks they look very similar. Obviously, race wise and age wise, it's exactly where I would expect Ezra to be. Mina is, an attractive guy, really good actor. He killed it in Aladdin. I love that movie. I didn't have that high expectations going into it, but I did like it a lot.
Mhm.
And he's got chops on him. He's the real deal. And I think that Mina is perfect for appearing like Ezra as an actor, and I think he's perfect for long term. If Mina is gonna be playing Ezra in Ahsoka and future movies, and he's gonna be around for the next 5, 6 years, however many movie deals, I think that this is the right caliber actor to get for that gig. He was in Aladdin. He's in a $1 billion Disney movie. That's the real deal. You know what I mean? They're
What did
keeping
you
it
think
in
about
house.
what did you think about his rendition of Aladdin?
I thought it was good. I thought it was great. I mean it's not my favorite movie ever, but I think it did justice. I'm not the biggest fan at this point of the fact that Disney just keeps doing a live action adaptation of everything. So I wasn't that thrilled, but after watching it, I thought it was really good. I loved it. I've seen it multiple times. I saw it in the movies when it came out. I thought Aladdin was really good, and he's a big part of it. I think
And,
I think he kills it.
and like even personally for me now, I'm gonna watch the Aladdin movie just so I can see how he is and see how he portrayed
Yeah.
Aladdin and kind of get a taste for how he's gonna portray Ezra. And I think a lot of people who may have not saw the Aladdin live action would do the same. I think that a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, I got to see what this guy's about before," because Star Wars fans are very critical about casting, and
Yeah.
especially in the past few months with all these characters getting announced that they're going to be joining the Star Wars universe. So I think a lot of people are going to tune into this Aladdin live action remake to see how Mena Massoud, how he is, get their own take on it.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people have strong opinions because they did like Raul Coley a lot.
Well,
I know
that was
you
mine.
did.
Yeah, that
Yeah, I
that
know.
was
I
my
know when
pick.
we first spoke about this, when it first broke from Kessel Run Transmissions, the first thing you said was, "Oh, like I kind of wanted Raul." And I know a lot of people also wanted Taylor Gray to reprise the role, which I was never very fond of. Like he did a great job voice acting. I love his work in Rebels, but I didn't see that transition over, especially because I have an envision for what Ezra would look like in live action, and it's not Taylor Gray. So I think Mina is the perfect casting, also because I don't think it's controversial. I know people have an opinion that they would have rather Rahul or Taylor, but Mina is really good, looks amazing. He looks exactly like Ezra. He
Yeah,
really does, and
yeah, he
and and
does.
I think it's the perfect casting. When it first came out, I remember texting you. I was like, oh, I can't believe I never thought about this. Like,
Yeah.
especially since I've seen the Aladdin movie, and I would have been able to directly connect it between Disney and them casting this role. I was like, this is so perfect. I can't believe this wasn't all over the internet for the past few years.
Yeah, and also I also think that Disney is really, now that they're expanding Star Wars this way, I think they're really digging into their like own pot and trying to figure out who they have already on, on
Yeah.
payroll. And there's so much with the Marvel universe, and we had the talks that we spoke about that Robert Downey Jr. was in talks with Star Wars to do some sort of a role in the Thrawn, something people were speculating Thrawn. We talked about, what we thought about him playing Thrawn, and we have directors that already did Marvel and stuff, and now they're digging into more of their, their roots, and they have this guy that they obviously were really happy with his rendition of Aladdin, if they're thinking about giving him a role as big as Ezra in the Ahsoka series, because we know that Ezra's going to play a very crucial part of that series.
Yeah, and there was actually stories that came out after Mina portrayed Aladdin in live action. Things were coming out about him kind of having remarks and stuff about how he couldn't get like a job
Oh
after
yeah.
Aladdin. So this is also awesome because he's now getting a huge job
Yeah.
after Aladdin. This guy potentially, if this rumor is correct, is going to be Aladdin and Ezra Bridger. Ezra could be the next big ticket. He could be the next huge Jedi, which is another reason why I love that they went with this casting. Because this guy, this kid, whatever you want to call him, he can carry this franchise for years to come, in my opinion.
For sure. He's
And he's
young.
good. He looks just the
and
part.
and it all depends, because we really are stuck in this place where we don't know where the Ahsoka storyline is definitely going to go. We also had in one of our last episodes where we speculated with the whole alternate universes and the world between worlds, and we know what happened to Ezra, but we don't know what really happened to Ezra. We have no idea where he went. We have no idea what he went through, what he's going to look like coming back from whatever. We saw Boba Fett come back from something traumatic, and he looks totally different.
Yeah. Hmm.
So we don't know, and I'm sure we don't know when the Ahsoka series is going to start filming, but if it I'm expecting it to be, in the next couple of years, and I think that leaves plenty of time for him to, if he needs to gain some weight for this role, or grow his hair for this role, or
And
really get himself, fo- we don't
study,
know.
do
Yeah, we
some
don't. We
studying. You know what I mean?
exactly.
He might have gotten the call from Disney Lucasfilm and said, "I've never seen a Star
Of
Wars.
course.
I've just seen a few movies."
And that
That's
happens
the
because
thing. You got to do your research.
even Bill Burr, who came out, I think he said that he didn't really watch a lot of the Star Wars and stuff like that, and he played an amazing role, but it also wasn't as big and as crucial as Ezra is
Exactly.
going to
Mhm.
be.
That's why
And
that's why I if there was a reason why I would say, oh yeah, Rahul would have been great, is because he is a huge Star Wars
my
fan.
money was on Raul because he looks the part. He did
For
some
sure.
sort of, they've done some like Boss Logic, I think it is, and stuff, have done some of those pictures where they do like renditions of people who are fan casted, and he looked terrific.
Yeah.
He wants to play the part. He
Yeah.
knows Star Wars. He knows the part. So I would have really enjoyed that. And I also, I saw him in Bly Manor, and I saw him in some of his other stuff, and he was a great actor.
Yeah.
I thought he had really good emotion. He was a really good actor. So I would have loved to see someone like him jump into a role of something that he's always loved. And it also is like in the Marvel universe when they did Tom Holland, and Tom Holland has been a Spider-Man fan since he could remember. So and
Exactly.
so it's almost like the perfect job, and you got to execute it because it's something that you've always thought about. So I
Yeah.
would have really liked to see him as Ezra, but I'm gonna give, from what I've seen of Mena Massoud, I like the way he looks. I think he fits the bill. I just hope that
Yeah. I
he does
agree.
his research. He does his
Yeah.
research.
It's always going to be a little skeptic, but I think that this is so
And
perfect.
as far as what's his name, Gray. Why am I drawing a blank?
Taylor?
Taylor Gray. As far as Taylor Gray, who played the voice of Ezra and created pretty much the character of Ezra, and really worked under. I saw interviews where he talked about how he really worked under Dave Filoni and really understood the concept of what was going on in that series. I think he would have been great, but I think they're going more for that long haul, like they did with Ashley Eckstein, and they did with, you know, uh, there's that medium. Ashley was an amazing Ahsoka, but they needed a little bit more from the character as with acting chops and action shots and stuff. So they went with Rosario Dawson, and they also decided to stick with Bo-Katan, and they kept her because she already had those acting skills and she already, was up to part with all that stuff. So
Right. Yeah. And I'm trying to look it up right now because that's why I'm like looking down. I'm looking at my phone. I'm trying to look it up right now, but I can't find any information. So I don't want to say this and be wrong. But I'm also pretty sure Taylor Gray might be white. And when I see Ezra, and even when I see Kanan, I see those characters as, South Asian, Egyptian, Middle Eastern type of type of people. You know what I mean? And it goes and it, and I would have thought it would have been strange to take that away from how I think everybody kind of envisioned those characters. And I don't know if that's accurate. He
yeah,
might
I'm
not
not sure either at all.
definitely doesn't, there's a certain bill when it comes to casting live action Kanan, live action Sabine, live action Ezra. I have a certain envision into what their ethnicity as humans would be.
Hmm.
And you don't want to take that away from the people that want to see them a certain way, bring someone in to play this role. And that's another reason why I think Mena is absolutely perfect. Pretty sure he's Egyptian, and you keep that in line with how it should be. And I would feel the same way if they brought in Kanan or if they brought in Sabine, and it
Yeah.
didn't fit the ethnic background that they should. And it would just be strange in my opinion.
I'm super excited to see. I'm looking forward to in the next couple days when I get a chance. I'm gonna throw on the Aladdin movie because now that it's so in our face, it really gave me not that I didn't want to see the Aladdin movie. It was on my to-do list, but I just didn't jump into it. And now this gives me all the
Yeah, the
reason.
live action, all the
This
live
gives
action
yeah,
Disney films are kind of
yeah.
like you're interested because especially if you're in our age group, if you're, we were raised off of Disney animation.
Mhm.
So in our adult life, they bring back live action Aladdin, they bring back live action Mulan, they bring back live action Beauty and the Beast. And it's kind of like weird, but some of them are good and some of them are bad. But the Aladdin holds up. The
Yeah.
Aladdin's good, and I give 99% of the credit to Mina and Will Smith and the woman who plays Jasmine. I'm drawing a blank. I'm not that good with names, but they absolutely nail it.
Yeah. And it's going to be exciting because in the next few weeks, we just keep getting information, and it's all these shows that they're talking about they have to go into production sooner than later.
Hmm.
Because it's not gonna be an easy process, especially like number one, you got to get the faces to match up with the characters, and they have to start jumping on all this stuff. So I think we're gonna start really finding out who's gonna play who now, and I'm hoping that there's some people that we don't find out who's gonna play who.
Me too. Me
You
too.
know,
100%. I would have lost my mind if that popped up on screen. But I think, in certain situations like this, especially if you're casting Ezra, especially if you're casting Ezra to be around for a while, I'm not shocked. Like that's another reason why I kind of bought it when I first saw it. Because at first I was a little skeptical about it.
Mhm.
And I was like, you know what? It's 100% possible that they would cast him now. Hopefully they officially announce it, so it's not really a guessing game.
Mhm.
Like let's just put it out there. Let's confirm it. I can 100% because I pretty much am 100% committed to Mina at this point because this news came out about three days ago. So I am really committed to the character and the actor to portray him.
And that's also how I feel about the Lars Mikkelsen playing Thrawn.
Yeah.
Because that rumor came out and then we haven't heard anything really about it after. But I that was my pick since day one, and I'm really hoping that those two guys on screen together because they're gonna play a close up role. I'm sure if they are wherever they are together and they end up getting found together. If
100%.
Ahsoka's looking for Thrawn, she never mentioned I'm looking for Ezra, even though we know from Rebel she is, but we know she's looking for Thrawn right now to find Ezra, I'm sure. And I think that's going to be really cool to figure out what's been going on in these years that they've been missing. And I don't know. How would you like to see Ezra? Like, would you like to see him a little older? Would you like to see him look a little different? Short hair Ezra, long hair Ezra?
So I think it would make sense for him to look a little scruffier and a little bit more beard hair. But I don't with the Mina casting,
Hmm.
and he's like so baby faced and
Hmm.
attractive. Like not to sound ridiculous, but he is. That I would more so now envision Mina as Ezra with clean face and even potentially the short hair,
Yeah.
pretty much exactly how we last saw Ezra in the Rebels, finale
He
with the
has to
short hair and the baby face.
he has to put on blue contacts, no?
Yeah, probably, right? I can't see why not. I mean, if they did it, they did it for Ahsoka and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Well, they
Okay.
asked
Yeah,
Ahsoka if she wanted to.
yeah. So maybe it would be the same thing. We
Yeah.
we know that Filoni could very well say, "Hey, listen, is there any touch you want to put on this?"
Yeah,
You know?
because I would love to. Personally, I would love to see Ezra. Like he was very skilled when we left off with him, obviously. So he would be very polished now if time has gone by. But who knows? He could. Is he a prisoner? Or
Yeah.
is he, running around? What's his deal? We don't know. But I would love to see a Kanan-esque hairstyle, maybe like the beard and the hair like Kanan, kind of like an ode to
Right, yeah.
to his
I
master.
agreed. I agreed with that with Raul. When
Me
when when
too.
I was
Oh, me too.
envisioning when we had Raul in our head, I envisioned a long, like a thick beard, ponytail, very Kanan-esque.
But
But now with Mina, he's
if
so youthful looking.
if he beefs up a little bit and gains a little bit of weight, and
Mhm.
because years gone by, he'd be a little bit older, so maybe he beefs up a little bit, grows a little bit of a beard, has his hair back. I think it could work.
Yeah, I think it's like a decade jump, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't want to. What is it?
we
So
don't
so
know.
it's
We
right.
don't
It's
really
right
know
before
though.
episode 4, and then right now we're right after episode 6.
Yeah,
So there's a little bit of a time jump. I agree. I would expect him to have some, like, ruggedness to him, and even some, like, maybe darkness, some more darkness to him. But I'm now with this casting, I'm envisioning, the short hair, baby face look.
yeah. Either way, I'm excited. I can't wait to find out some more characters now, because even if we don't have it confirmed,
Uh,
it's fun to speculate, because this was somebody, like, we've speculated for so many people, and we've speculated for Ezra for the longest time, but neither of us thought of, Mena Massoud, Aladdin, and you saw the movies and you didn't even think of it. You know what I
No,
mean?
never. And I feel so silly for never thinking of it, because of how much he looks like him and how much he fits the bill and how he's an in-house guy and perfect age. Like
Yeah,
I get so silly that this wasn't everywhere, in my opinion. But I guess, Raul Coley was dominating
I
the
know.
social media game in terms of fan casting. Like
Hmm.
he was playing into it. He was playing into it so hard that the fact that he's not is shocking, let
I
alone the
mean, I
fact
mean,
that he would
what's
be.
what's throwing me off right now is that Ray Park has been on the biggest Darth Maul makeup and tagging Tatooine and all these things, and it's like I'm in my mind, I'm thinking about how I was almost tricked into thinking that Raul was definitely going to be Ezra, and like we don't know what's really going on behind the scenes. Like I would love to see Ray reprise his
He's
role
he's
as
he's
Darth Maul,
playing
and we
some
don't know.
games. He's playing some
Yeah,
games, and I
but
know
we don't know which
he's
way.
going back and forth.
But is he playing games in the sense of trying to trick us? Is he playing games in the sense of he wants the Disney to see how big the fan base is for Maul to return again in
Yeah.
live action? Or is he
Is
playing
he
Maul again? Yeah,
committed?
is he
Yeah,
returning
like,
as Maul?
is he committed to role? My guess is, so the way I keep going with the mole stuff is, my assumption is he does not have a gig booked right now, because if he did, I'm sure he'd be signing NDAs that would not allow these photos to come up.
Yeah.
But I just have moments sometimes, and I'm just like, he's got to be like symbolizing
Yeah,
something,
it's
right?
tough.
Like,
It's just tough for me to get my hopes up because of the way that the mall story played out, and with what's coming up in the future. It's tough for me to like kind of figure out where he would fit, definitely.
me too.
And
Yeah.
Obi-Wan would be my favorite, edition of Maul to be thrown into one of these shows. But it's also dicey because we saw the whole Obi-Wan and Maul thing, but we also saw the whole Obi-Wan and Vader thing. And
Exactly. Yeah.
I always say that Vader, Maul, and Obi-Wan, the three of them going at it, seeing those guys, fight at, as like a triple threat, I would
No, I
be
agree. Yeah, I
absolutely
agree.
beyond that. That would probably be one of my favorite Star Wars scenes ever if I could, if it comes out the way that I envision it. So,
For sure, for sure.
but
And I
yeah,
think what I'm really excited to, and I just thought about it because it's behind you, is we're definitely going to get some Loth cats, some Loth wolves. We're going to get a lot of Rebels lore once that Ezra comes
listen,
back, and I can't wait for that lore.
we got the the owl with Ahsoka, even though it was a
Yeah,
quick little nod. We had it in the Mandalorian in the forest. So a white Loth cat is in far fetched, and I would love to see that again.
yeah, I love it. The Rebels lore is some of my favorite stuff, man. I love everything they did
Me
with
too.
that show. I can't wait for it to come to
And I
life.
and I really think I know a lot of people are saying like the Bad Batch is going to be almost like the next season of Clone Wars, and I think that the Ahsoka series is really going to be the next season of Rebels.
Yeah, me too. Me too. A lot of people discuss how like, oh, the Rebel sequel, the Rebel sequel. I think the Rebel sequel's booked, and I think that Rebel sequel
Yeah,
is Ahsoka season one, and then moving forward, and it's
and you have
just going to happen in live action.
we don't know. Is Ahsoka season one just going to be a one season and that's it, or are we going to get Ahsoka season one and then get Ezra season two?
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
because Ezra's young enough and
Or who
has enough
knows? I mean,
backstory to carry this on for a long time too.
we also have all these movies confirmed, and none of these movies have information confirmed.
Yeah,
So, for all we know, Kevin Feige's movie is the Rebel sequel. Ryan
yeah.
Johnson's trilogy is the Rebel sequel. You know, Taika's movie. We have no idea what takes place in these.
Like I know we're gonna get some surprises because we're gonna know, obviously, even if Ezra wasn't announced, we know Ezra's coming. But
Yeah,
then there's other characters that like Zeb went off and he did his own thing, and they kind of like cleared his story at the end of Rebels to say he's off doing his own thing now. But there's not like there's nothing in my mind that doesn't doubt that they might need him
bring him
because
back. Yeah, why not?
him and Ezra ended up going from enemies to best friends.
Yeah,
And a moment between live action, like we for all we know, Zeb is doing his own thing, but in the back of his mind, he's torn up about the fact that Ezra, went out the way that he went out because we saw like those times in Rebels when uh Zeb got taken. I mean, Ezra got taken and stuff by the Empire, and
mhm,
even though Zeb would act like a tough guy, you would show that moment of him by himself in the room, looking up at the picture of them two and stuff like that.
yeah,
So I would assume that Zeb is torn up about it, and if he's still around, we could see a live action Zeb, and that would be unbelievable.
for sure. I mean, we've gotten the live action Chopper in
Yeah,
Rogue One.
and
Like
we
we know
will get
he's
that
still
again.
around. We have to get that again.
Yeah, that will be getting
That's
again.
leaving money on the table if
No
Chopper
way.
doesn't come back. Hera, we need this crew. We need this entire crew back, and we know Ahsoka and Sabine are directly involved.
And
This could be a rebel
Hera
sequel.
and Kanan have a child.
Right? Yeah.
And that's a
Talk
story
about
that we have no idea about, and that
yeah,
kid's got to be a powerful kid. I'll tell you that much.
yeah. That could be a part of the future. That like the future is huge for Star Wars,
Could
and it's gonna entail
could
a
you
lot of
imagine
different
Ezra
things.
comes back and Kanan and Hera's son is his Padawan?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And then where does Grogu fit into all this too?
Exactly. There's just so much. Once we start getting on a kick of somebody's coming, and now we have a face to the person, and we could speculate about that, the theories just run wild.
Yeah. And whether you're disappointed or not, I totally understand if you wanted Taylor, if you wanted Rahul, there's no right and wrong in those situations. But not only did we get a face for Ezra, but that
Yeah,
face
but
is a really good casting.
but
That
also
face looks like Ezra a lot.
give it a chance. Like, did I think or say this is the person that I want to play Ezra? Absolutely not.
Right, yeah.
But now it's in front of me, and I'm not going to complain about it because if this is the route they're going to go, and like I always say, I trust Dave and I trust John, so we got to go with it and see.
And
They
and we
they they're going to
and
do the
we
right thing.
we've also like pretty much adopted this culture of reacting to castings so early on in events
Yeah,
that like I'll use this as an example really quick. Disney Plus with WandaVision just had Monica Rambeau come in. Monica Rambeau is a superhero now. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And she's going to be all in the future of the MCU. And they introduced her and gave her entire origin story, and we all love her.
yeah.
No one had preconceived notions. No one was mad. No one was happy about the casting. The casting happened, and we love this
Yeah.
future of the MCU
We had no
character.
idea.
Yeah, so I think we need to stop adopting this thing. Like I saw it the other day, Jennifer Lawrence for Fantastic Four. I don't know if you saw that, but Jennifer Lawrence for the Fantastic Four, and there was so many opinions, and I was like, how do you have this many opinions? She could come in, she could be Sue Storm, or she could reprise her role as Mystique, and it'd be phenomenal.
100%.
So I just think we need to kick the brakes on reacting to castings because it could be an actor you've never heard of and it could portray it perfectly.
Yeah, listen, the discussion is always open, and I love to see what people think, but you just can't knock it right away, especially a
Exactly.
situation like this, because this is not a horrible situation. So you can't knock him. A lot of people were complaining about Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka, and I just can't understand it. And I see the little things, the Montrals and this and that people picked on and stuff. Listen, I still hear people talk about the CGI for Luke Skywalker, and I have to close my ears and walk away when I hear that because I don't care.
Yeah, I
I
think I think I think that's a part of why The Mandalorian is so great, and it's because it's kicking back into some of those roots of, okay, we have a $200 million budget over the course of 8 episodes, but they use it on certain things and they don't use it on certain things. And some of the things we love about Star Wars is the fact that the Montrals are made out of foam. Grogu is a puppet, all that stuff. Like there's some character to that. There's
100%.
character to that. So let the Montrolls be a little foamy so that the crate dragon can exist. Whatever the case may be, however you want to split up finances and
And we
whatnot.
have no idea what the
There's
budget's going to
character
look.
to that.
Listen, they could totally change a couple little things and tweak stuff in the Ahsoka series.
100%. For all we know, The Mandalorian season 2 was such a phenomenon and such a huge hit. And all these Disney Plus shows are such monsters that, trust me when I tell you, all of Ahsoka could be CGI by the
Without a
time the
doubt.
Ahsoka series come
I mean,
out. All of
look.
Ahsoka could be CGI by the time, hypothetically, the Feige movie comes out. And has
Ahsoka has had a different image in every single animated series that she's been in. Anytime that they feature her, she's looked totally different. There's been changes and stuff, and you just can't complain about it. You just got to enjoy
Without a
it.
doubt, you're gonna break it
It's
down.
for the moment.
Ahsoka looks entirely different in season 7 of Clone Wars as she does in Rebels. It
Yeah.
doesn't look like the same person.
No.
So with that being said, like if we turn on the Ahsoka series, we find out that the Ahsoka series has a $400 million budget over the course of 10 episodes, and Ahsoka is completely CGI. Obviously, I'm making those numbers up. That's not going to be the case, but you can't be mad at that. It is what it is. Like let's start moving forward. Let's make it. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get better.
So we have no idea if Mena Massoud is going to be Ezra. We know that it's the big speculation, so don't take our word for it. We'll get more information soon, and as soon as we do get more information, we'll be right back on here to let you guys know. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment on our YouTube. And head over to our Instagram and put on notifications because we're going to be doing a big giveaway again soon. And I know you guys love the giveaways. And until the next episode. All right, Steph.
Thanks, guys.